Welcome to Miss Martin Muses. Welcome to Miss Martin Muses, where we muse upon what makes me laugh, makes me cry, makes me happy, makes me sad, or just really ticks me off. Well, today we're talking about something that makes me very happy. It is J.R.R. Tolkien's The Two Towers. J.R.R. Tolkien's The Two Towers, the masterpiece, The Lord of the Rings. We are joined today, as usual, by Princess Rennie.
Hey, Teresa. Hey, Stig. How are you guys this morning? Or this afternoon, sorry.
Afternoon?
Mediocre.
Mediocre.
Oh, dear.
He was fine till I triggered him. I lost my eardrop medicine. And we are also joined from the future, all the way from Norway, the one, the only Stig Kenobi.
Hi.
You didn't even get a hello there.
It's okay. He can say hi. He can say hi.
I'll do it.
Okay.
Hello there.
There we go. Yeah. Yeah, well, he's only mediocre, so he's got some issues. All right, we are joined here today by Maza. Welcome, and as always, Snortopoopas Cooper. We like our polar bears here
That's
on Miss
right.
Martin Muses. We like them. Gadfly Fiction, hello. He says, don't mind me, just going through the assignments that I am grading this week. Oh, I hear you. Pro tip, if you have any relatives 5 and over, give them $20 and have them do it for you. It'll save you a lot of time.
Dang.
It worked when I was teaching geography, because I just told my 5-year-old niece, it's like, listen, just match the numbers, or the letters rather. And if the letters don't match, here's a red pencil. Next, we have the Time Prophet. Hello. We like time traveling here, as we have said, because we have people from the future here. It is PCAT. Now, last time I think I accused you of being one of our animal friends on Miss Martin Muses, but maybe PCAT stands for something else, not a cat, when I looked at your picture later. And
Maybe
from
it's Pussycat.
Oh my!
Oh no!
Maybe it's that simple.
Here we go again. Okay, from the Rated X version of Miss Martin Muses. And
No, that's not Rated X. It's a pussycat. They say it on, thought I saw a pussycat.
Oh no!
Cats are called pussycats. Wasn't a sexual thing.
You are correct.
Yes.
Correct. All the way from the Emerald Isle, but not from Cork, my territory. It is Shane Nolan. It is Shane Nolan saying hello to Teresa, Stig, and Princess Rennie.
Aww.
We always love to see Shane Nolan. You're always here, and I always appreciate that you leave a comment and watch the reruns, or the replays rather, when you cannot. Oh, Snortopoopa says he has been to New Zealand, so it fits. The Time Prophet. Hello. I like the bipolar polar bear.
That's cute.
That is cute. What's new, Pussycat, says Shane Nolan. P-Cat, I like pussy. Objectively speaking, he's talking about cats. It is Catterday. I sense the rapid approach of the rails, as in off the... Well, we're not quite there yet. Snortopoopa says New Zealand stole our hobbits. That is true. They did. Let's see. Everyone's saying hi to each other. Hello, Zax. I always love seeing people here. We have Sandra Feliciano saying hi to Rennie and Miss Martin Muses. That's me.
Sandra.
Yay. We love everyone here. And Mary McGee.
She left me out like I was nothing.
Well, ladies first. Hello, Mary McCheese. Everyone's saying hi to each other.
Mayor.
We're gonna try to be act like we're above the age of 10 today. And if Lady Gravemaster makes it, she'll keep us all under control. Welcome,
no,
Keely
she won't.
Chow. Uh-oh. You speak her name 3 times and she arrives. Hello, Lady Gravemaster.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Hey.
Hi.
So good to see you back.
Yay. I'm sorry. It's just been the chaos theory at work, basically, for the past 5 days. Well, really the past week. So,
yeah. No, perfectly fine, perfectly fine. We are very laid back here at Miss Smart Muses. We are very laid back. And if we ever want to get revenge on someone, we just give voodoo curses or something. So you're fine. You're fine. Yeah. Yeah. I've been known only to hold a grudge for 25 years. So
Oh, okay.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
That's
there
not
we go.
bad.
That's nothing.
Oh. I know. We have the professional here. We have the professional. Well, it is so good to see everyone here. And the gang is back together again after this Thanksgiving. We are now well into the Two Towers. Before we get going into the next chapter with the Palantir and all that fun stuff, Lady Gravemaster, put you on the spot here a bit. We finished the Battle of Helm's Deep. So I didn't know if there was anything in particular that stood out to you from the Battle of Helm's Deep that you wanted to speak on before we move on to the next chapter.
She literally didn't show up for Helm's Deep with Erkenbrand.
That's right. Don't look to the east for her. It'll be a waste
I'm
of time.
sorry.
No, don't be sorry.
I do try. I do. Yeah, no. So it's actually, I know that the way that it's supposed to work out is that you're supposed to feel more emotional, I guess, or have a more attachment to the final Battle of the Ring, of course. But this is honestly, of all of the battles that take place, whether it's not, Isengard or the Fields of any of the other battles, this is my favorite. I think it perfectly encapsulates just battle in general. How you're terrified. Like, a lot of people who do sports kind of understand the butterflies in the stomach, but like when you're about to go into a battle, especially in a case like this where it is a battle that you've prepared for, essentially, it's more like symphonies going off in your stomach rather than butterflies.
Yes.
You're nervous, you're anxious, you're terrified, you're excited, and until like when Gandalf says later, it's the deep breath before the plunge. I think that that's more so revealed with the Battle of Helm's Deep, because Rohan didn't have anybody. Like, yes, Gandalf was like, look to the east on the on the third day. Look for me to the east. Look for my coming to the east. But
And then he arrives from the west.
Yeah.
That's the movie.
In the movie.
Yeah, the movie, yeah.
Well, such is life. We can forgive, I suppose, but I mean, that cinematography was pretty epic.
Yeah.
But it really, Rohan, like, they were it. Like, yeah, there were these writers out there that they could be like, oh, it's your nephew, it's he like, but when you're reading I remember the first time I read the book, I had no idea who Gandalf was going to go get, because it sure wasn't Gondor.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sitting here, it didn't quite click for me. I was like, oh, we bumped into these riders, when they were hunting down, or when they were hunting down the orcs and the Uruk-hai, of course. But when you've got Gimli and Aragorn and Legolas are, of course, going after Merry and Pippin, and it didn't quite click for me that, hey, there's more of these guys, and they're a pretty ferocious force, especially if you're going to flank your enemy like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just remember thinking, like, Rohan's got nobody. Like, they have their stronghold at Helm's Deep, and that is it. And they literally just blew that up. So I had no idea what was going to happen. I was terrified with them and for them and confused and angry. And then, like, quite frankly, kind after everything that he had been through, Theoden King had been through and dealt with, and the fact that Gondor did not come and help them,
Yeah.
he's a much better person than I am, because I'd have been petty. I'd have been like, yeah, I see them. I see that they're calling for aid. I see the torches. No.
And screw y'all.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, you know, when he's like, and he points it out, he's like, where was Gondor when the West Wall fell? Where was Gondor, you know, when all of this other stuff was happening? Where was Gondor for Rohan? And I'm like, yeah, exactly. And then you're like,
Westfold is
oh,
actually a county in Norway.
Oh, really?
I
Oh.
didn't know
Yep.
that.
Well, that's where it was then. It was up in Norway. That's where they
Yep.
were.
There you go.
No
So,
wonder.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, I was just sitting here like, when Theoden King's like, yeah, we'll go help them, I'm like, props to you, sir, because my ass has been like, no, we just got slammed by Isengard's armies and completely devastated our forces. You were nowhere to be found. Why should I risk everything to come help you when you didn't come help us? And then, of course, part of me, thanks, Axe. Part of me was like, it makes sense though, because if they didn't go help Gondor, it would just mean Mordor would be at Rohan's steps shortly after. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So strategically, it made sense for him to go, but like, quite frankly, I was with him when he was like, well, where were they when we needed them? I was like, yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah, he's a much. I guess that's why he's king, and I'm not. I mean, I probably
Yeah,
still wouldn't have been that petty. I would have let strategy win out eventually, but I would have been petty for at least half a second.
I would have just had Mordor attack Gondor and have them wipe out Gondor and then move in and deal with what was left of the Mordor forces.
Yeah.
And then
Really?
rub it in if there was a survivor or two.
Oh, well, of course you would rub it in. Yeah, Stig is
Yeah.
an expert at that. Yeah,
See,
those are all great observations there, Lady Grandmaster. And let me add, Snorta Pupus Kubura says, Lady Grandmaster, Stig has been a very naughty boy. Keep him in line.
No, I haven't.
Yes, we're actually
Not
really
today.
hoping, Lady, that you did not listen to last week's one because
Weird.
Mom
That
was
was
away and the
not
kids
me.
played.
That was
Oh,
you and Rennie.
fun!
Oh, it was not
No,
all
I
us.
think-
I refuse to take all the blame.
I'm not gonna take
Oh,
all.
yeah, he's
And he's like,
blaming it
"No."
on us.
I will say, I do agree with a lot of what you say, Lady Gravemaster. The only thing is, for me, whenever he got all bitter about Gondor, it's like, did you forget that they have Mordor on their footsteps and they're getting attacked by orcs like every day?
Yeah.
You know, and that's kind of why I was a little bit less sympathetic for Theoden, but I get where
You're
he's
telling
coming
me
from.
you can't afford one scouting party or like one.
I mean, they were
you know,
right by
fire
like
team.
Sauron. Like, seriously, they were at their mercy all the time. Like, what was it? What was the name of the castle that the Ringwraiths took over? Because it used to be a Gondorian castle,
Mhm.
and I
You
forget
gotta be
what
more
the original
specific.
name was.
Which one? You got to be a little
It
Minas
more.
was
Morgul?
yes, Minas Morgul,
Yeah.
and so you know, it just kind of shows how like Sauron and his forces just kind of took over that area, and they've been terrorizing Gondor for years on end. And I just don't think that they thought about it other than just protecting themselves and trying to win their forces back. Like they were talking about how they were fighting for Osgiliath back and forth. Like, you know, Mordor would take it over and then Gondor would take it back. And so, you know, they've had these people on their footsteps or on their doorsteps forever. And I just don't think they were thinking about it, you know?
Yeah. Well, not only that, King Theoden was sitting around being worm-tongued. He was
Hey.
he
That
was
sounded so
full of-
dirty.
Can I just say, and this is why the extended editions are really the only ones worth watching. The when you listen to the story about, because you know he spoilers, I guess. You know how he stabs,
No spoilers.
how he goes ahead and Wormtongue stabs. Oh my god, Sauron in the back, or Saruman in the
Saruman.
back.
Yeah.
And Christopher Lee, when you listen to the discussion he had with Peter Jackson, because Peter Jackson wanted him to scream when Wormtongue stabbed him in the back. And
But that's not what happens.
Yeah, Christopher Lee was like, no, when you get stabbed in the back, like, it's not, he goes, you're too stunned to scream. He's like, a scream is for, like, pain that you knew was coming. Like, he goes, he was like, it's something that you see coming, or, you know, something that you've sort of prepared yourself for. Like, if you get speared or something by an enemy, you expect it. But when you get stabbed in the back, he's like, do you think Caesar screamed? No, he said, et tu, Brute. Like,
Yeah.
you don't scream when you get stabbed in the back. And so Christopher Lee didn't, and it worked.
Yes.
I have a story about that though.
What, you stabbed someone in the back?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's hear it, Steve.
I invited a neighbor to, take a walk to the gas station over where I, grew up, which is like a 40-minute walk one way. And it was dark, very cloudy, pitch black, actually. So I went outside and waited for him. And I could hear footsteps down the road, right? And I snuck up on a little, kind of like a little hill above him. And I could hear him listening to, what's it called? Those portable CD players, Discman.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there was heavy metal going on in his ears. So I was like, okay, so he can't see and he can't hear. Excellent. So I took a stick and I kind of slid down the little hill behind him as he walked away. I moved up behind him, put an arm around his neck, and stabbed him in the back with a stick while screaming backstab in his ear.
Oh my God.
He panicked. And I held him, right? And he was screaming and stuff. And when I let him go, his legs were all, propelling. So he just shot off into the distance, screaming. That's how ninja I was.
Well, there you go. Well, Arya's ninja is Shane. I actually got stabbed once. Did scream and in shock. Wow. Things are getting crazy over there in Ireland.
Only one guy burned the churches, to be honest.
No. Norwegian heavy metal involves
that happened.
Churches. Yeah, Shane Nolan did not scream. And Sonora Poopas Cooper says, a lot of times when you're stabbed in the back, you lose your breath, tend to make screaming hard. Yeah, and I think that part of this goes to what someone said a little bit back, that it was kind of creepy for the production staff because he said it with such confidence, and we all know that Christopher Lee was, as it says in Special Forces WW2, Shane Nolan, yeah. So he probably actually has stabbed in the back somebody at one time, and rather sneakily. Okay, Shane Nolan says it was an attempted mugging.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Well, I'll be darned. Was it Dublin? I bet it was Dublin or Galway. Okay. People are too stupid to mug anyone in Cork. I suspect Christopher Lee may have done some stabbing. Can't scream with a hole in your lung. True. Christopher Lee sung with a heavy metal band. Yes, he did. And if you've never seen it, it is amazing. Well, we are
actually
now
with 2 or 3 of them. 3 actually.
Yeah, he even won an award like as a newcomer when he was like 80. Yeah, we are now on chapter 9.
90.
Okay,
he was a 90.
90. Okay. We are now on chapter 9 of Flotsam of Two Towers, Flotsam and Jetsam, where Gandalf and the King's Company are going around the ruined walls of Isengard, but Aragorn, Gimli, and Legolas remain behind, leaving Arod and Hasselhoff to stray in search of grass. They're having some fun times. They're getting some grass there, and they came back and sat behind the hobbits. And they go, well, the hunt is over. We meet again at last, where none of us ever thought to come, said Aragorn. So they sit around and talk. And I love the way that there's this big reunion at Isengard. All of the characters had been separated, and we thought they were dead. Some of them did die, like Boromir, but they get back. And they're talking about the provisions that the orcs left behind. He had men to guard the gate, some of his most faithful servants, I suppose. Anyway, they were favored and got good provisions. And pipeweed, asked Gimli. So they're getting their pipe weed and their weed and their grass after. Gee whiz. It was Dublin. Didn't stop me knocking him out. Well done. And a time profit. Do you think Legolas became Lego Lass?
Oh, no.
Too much.
I refuse to believe that.
Yeah. Well, apparently he became Lego Grass because they're all smoking weed.
Yeah.
They are not smoking weed. It's pipe tobacco.
It is pipe tobacco, but they do call it weed. That's what's been.
Well, they do have hash pipes.
That's right.
Yeah.
I sincerely doubt that Tolkien had them smoking the reefer. I'm just saying.
Well, you know what? Weed and stuff were more common back then.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It wasn't
but
illegal.
Tolkien, no, it wasn't. But Tolkien even said that, like he despised the smell of it because it reminded him of the trenches.
Yeah.
So
I was gonna say from World War. Yeah.
Yeah, so I seriously doubt he's got his characters smoking anything but pipe tobacco.
Yeah.
Imagine though, back in those days, people, you know, when you wanted someone to pop over for some weed smoking, they're like, "Come on over and let's do some trenching."
Oh.
Oh.
Oh gosh. Well, there's a really cool line as they're all talking together where Pippin goes, "Look, Strider the Ranger has come back." And Aragorn, I'm imagining him standing really tall and looking hot, says, "He has never been away," said Aragorn. "I am Strider and Dunedain too, and I belong to Gondor and the North." So he is,
Which is
all of them
completely a completely normal thing to say when you meet people.
Yeah. You know?
Absolutely. But Stig, they did not sing a song.
Exactly.
Oh,
it's a win. It's a huge win.
Okay, I spoke too soon. I haven't turned the page yet. But
Damn
they
it.
sit and smoke. They smoke for a while and sit and tell their tale. Legolas lay still, looking at the sun and sky with steady eyes, and singing softly to himself. I am so sorry.
In that context, it's okay because they're just basically hanging around camp, right?
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
I find it appalling when they start singing in the forest while being chased by ringwraiths and what have you.
Yeah, that is weird. I will admit you're right on that.
Yeah.
Let's be stealthy with a song.
Yeah. The enemy won't find me if I'm singing at the top of my lungs. I mean,
Yeah.
I can attest to the fact that at some point you just don't care. Like, especially when you're coming off of the high, like when you have the high of a big victory like that, you really don't care.
Yeah, you give zero cares as far as that, and that's also part of it too. And maybe they weren't singing loudly, Stig. But what's also cool about this chapter is we get another flashback where they tell us how the Ents came and kicked some serious buttocks in the battle. So we see it after the fact. And so they sit around and tell the tale, and they do pause now and then to sing a bit about it.
Which is, I always wished, you know, when I read the books, that there had been a chapter about the Ent attack on Isengard.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but you know,
Yeah,
it works anyway. But that was something I always wished for. You know,
yeah.
that there had been. Because who doesn't want to see big tree people smash a castle, right? Or
Yeah.
especially when you're a kid, you're like, "Damn it, I wanted to see that."
Exactly.
Yeah, they do tell about what they saw. They said it must have been about midnight when the Ents broke the dams and poured all the gathered rothers through a gap in the northern wall down into Isengard. And Isengard began to fill up with black creeping streams and pools.
Basically, it drowned it in its own pollution.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Precisely. Yes, Lady
Can I-
Gravemaster?
I was gonna say, I actually love how Jackson handled that, where you could actually, when they do the aerial view of it, feel it like the
Yeah.
forgers are dousing, and you just see all of the crap come up and then
Mhm.
get like washed out, and it's like almost like a purifying effect. I really liked how they handled that in the film.
You know what was
Yes.
you know when they break the dam,
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
you see on the side one ant holding an orc and just
Oh, yeah.
tosses them in
Yep.
front of the.
Yep. Just
I always
toss them
thought that
right
one
in.
was that was funny. Just tosses them in like a little
Yeah.
rag doll.
I love watching the Ents own the orcs in the Urukai. It's so
Mhm.
awesome.
They just
It's
step
very
on them.
exactly. It's very validating of your feelings at the moment. It's like, yes, get them. It's great. It's just a really good feel good thing for me. So I always enjoy
Yes.
that.
Yeah. And to what Steve just said about the imagery, like you were saying about all the pollution, in the book they say it looked like a huge flat saucepan all steaming and bubbling, and from it came a dense fog that drowned out the moonlight, and it became into a huge umbrella of cloud. It must have been a mile high. And that
You
was
know,
the end of it all.
it's. I bet this was intended to be very symbolic. Basically, nature fighting back and
Mhm.
shoving the pollution back to its source.
Yep.
Absolutely.
You know,
It was like
Oh,
a
yeah.
pollution bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tolkien hated industrialization. Like the combustible engine, he's got several letters to Christopher, to C.S. Lewis, I think even to a few of his friends like in America. He hates the combustible engine. Like
It's
he
noisy.
loathed it. Yeah, it was noisy. It was noisy. It was dirty. And it was starting to become, this, rather than a symbol of status where only a few had it. Now it was literally mucking up the streets so that horses and carriages couldn't get through the same way. He
Yeah, and
hated
you can,
everything.
if you're used to the countryside and all,
Hmm.
and this sort of stuff starts happening, and especially in winter, you'll see the exhaust
Oh
on the
yeah.
snow.
Yep.
Mhm.
It is dirty and shitty. I'm fully on Tolkien's page with this. I mean, I can't stand that stuff because I grew up in the countryside as well, and I still can't get used to living in a city.
No, that makes sense. Well, your
It's
country
just it's
especially
just
has a lot of.
noisy. It's noisy, obnoxious, and dirty.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Okay, yeah. All right. Before we go on, I want to head this party back to Lady Gravemaster a little bit because we're going to have a little bit of Wormtongue as well as a little bit with Palantir. Did you want to choose something about that to talk about? Have any thoughts before you head out of this pate?
Um, I think that Wormtongue is actually the most evil character in this entire story.
Interesting.
I really do. Because there is okay, so Hitler would not have been able to do what he did unless people were willing to do what he wanted them to do, which means on some level they wanted to do what they were going to do. And whatever their justification, if it was, well, if I don't do this, he's going to kill my family, or he'll kill my friends, or he'll kill me, or, whatever justification that people used to contribute to one of the most horrific genocides in the history of mankind. Wormtongue didn't have to do any of those justifications. Not only did he want to be Saruman's tool, he went further than Saruman wanted or needed him to go. And when he was basically to the point where Saruman wasn't what he wanted him to be anymore, or didn't do what he wanted him to do, he stabbed Saruman in the back. And I feel like he would have happily and willingly done the exact same things for Sauron if Sauron would have permitted it. Because Sauron, his motivation was literally domination. Sauron wanted to dominate the world and have that power. Saruman also wanted power, not necessarily to dominate the world the same way that Sauron did, but his motivation was literally so that he could have all of this power. Wormtongue literally just wanted people to suffer. That was he did not care. Like, did he enjoy the validation he got from Saruman? Yeah, sure he did. But he enjoyed what he did. He loved what he did. And you can get that from the books and the films, but when Theoden only cast him out and didn't behead him, I was like, that is such a big freaking mistake. Because for some reason, weasels like that always seem to survive. They're like cockroaches.
Yeah.
But like I said, the ring is like evil incarnate, but it exists. It was created and exists in a state of evil. You know, it says the ring has a will of its own. So I would say outside of the ring, Wormtongue is the most evil character in this story. And then I would have to say it would be Gollum.
Would you agree that Wormtongue and the character of Burke in Aliens is very similar?
Oh my God, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Same motivation.
Yeah, same exact yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
and he sleazes and sucks up to people and manipulates them, and then it's basically all about him getting a percentage.
Yeah, and just he does it like, it's not like Saruman found him and, you know, turned him into this. Wormtongue came to Saruman offering himself in this way. So
yeah, he found the opportunity, and people like Saruman only gain power, only gain control over people because of people like Wormtongue. Because if Hitler just come out and gone, "Hi, I'm evil. Let's kill a whole bunch of Jews and send them to camps," and ha 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 ha, people would have been like, "You suck if you're just sitting by himself." But the fact that people cooperated with him, that's what made him successful.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
People joined up with him.
On that happy note, I have got to dash. I know that it is super short today, and I'm so sorry. My life is chaos.
No, I'm just so thrilled that you were able to stop by. I appreciate you giving us your thoughts, and hope to see more of you. We will be seeing Lady Gravemaster a week from Monday, talking about the Wheel of Time.
God help us. I saw that picture, Stig. The one that you put on Twitter. What happened?
Picture. Yeah.
What happened?
I posted some lore stuff too that's gonna wreck the whole story.
So oh God help me. I still have to watch episode. That's how busy it's been. I haven't had time to watch episode 4, but come like tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening, I'm not gonna have as much happening, so I'm gonna have to watch it. And then I'm gonna be dropping all 4 of my episode reviews of Wheel of Time. Hopefully by Tuesday, I should be able to push them all out because I'm still editing them. Because in the first 10 minutes of episode 1, there's so much wrong. Like,
they actually ruined the story.
They did. Within the first 6 minutes, the entire story is ruined. And I was just like, by the time I looked up from my notes and like everything I was saying, I was at an hour and 10 minutes on just the first 10 minutes of episode 1. And I was like, that's not going to work. So
yikes.
Oh God, it's terrible. Disclaimer, I have only read through book 5, right? And already, like, people are like, oh yeah, they had to divert from the story a little bit to make it work for television. One, no, they didn't. And two, they did more than divert from the story. They basically just took the character names and shoved them into a prefabricated fantasy series that they had. It's just wow. But
well,
that's a whole other
I
thing.
have put yeah, it's a whole other thing. Well, I have put the link to Lady Gravemaster's channel here in the chat. Please subscribe to her. Stieg and herself are also doing some excellent streams, and I'm having the link to the Wheel of Time for the Rest of Us stream, so you can set your reminders, put that in the chat, where if you have any question whatsoever about the Wheel of Time or the TV series, no question is too stupid. It's for the rest of us. It's for those of us that maybe haven't read the books or don't understand the lore. We want to ask any question, but maybe we're too afraid to ask. This will be the opportunity. Ask any question you want. Nothing's too hard, nothing too difficult. I'm sorry, Keck, you're cracking me up. You're doing a great job, though. Thank you for putting the chats in here. So please join us for the rest of us a week from Monday.
Yes. And thank you for having me on. It's always a pleasure, Teresa. Rennie, Stig, love you both. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of the day. And I will talk to everybody later.
All right. Have a good one. Have fun.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, now we don't have to behave ourselves anymore. No.
Back to 10-year-old mindset.
No, I used to be a good girl. I used to be. Well, to her point about Wormtongue, they describe him as a rat, a draggled rat, and he's crawling through the water trying to get to Saruman. Just pathetic.
Can I say something off topic?
Yes, you may.
You know Moses, right?
Yes.
From the Bible?
I know Moses. Yes.
Yeah.
He was the very first person with a tablet downloading data from a cloud.
Oh, dear.
Good one. Good one. That is true. That is very true. You need to give that one to all the clergy we have hanging around. We got preachers and priests and everything. They would actually find that amusing because, talk about having to behave yourselves. They really have to behave themselves. We of the flock can just claim our sinful nature. We are moving on to chapter 10. Chapter 10, which is an awesome one. None other than the voice of Saruman. And we are not talking about the awesome voice necessarily of Christopher Lee, but holy crap, this dude. Here we go. The voice of Saruman. Whew. His golden tongue in this episode, this chapter, the way he almost manipulates them. And even Gandalf warns them, it's dangerous. And Pippin's like, what's the danger? Will he shoot at us and pour fire out of the windows? Or can he put a spell on us from a distance? And Gandalf says, the last is most likely, but there is no knowing what he can do or may choose to try. A wild beast cornered is not safe to approach, and Saruman has powers you do not guess. Beware of his voice.
Yeah, because he controls minds, with it just by talking to people. Look what he did to Theoden or had Wormtongue do to him.
Which means Wormtongue is almost like an extension of Saruman, isn't he?
Yeah, I kind of felt like he was an antenna for Saruman's powers, and he just kind of went through him to get to Theoden, so to speak.
Yeah.
Well, he had his little weasel do his work for them. When I read this chapter the first time way back when, I didn't necessarily see him as casting a spell so much on them, just that his rhetoric and the way he talks to them is just so manipulative. But perhaps there was an intent for it to be magical. I'm not sure. What do you think, Stieg, about this chapter?
Um, well, it's a completely vital chapter.
Mhm.
You know, it's yeah. This is where basically the enemy's plans starts to be revealed.
Mhm.
Hmm.
So, yeah,
Yeah. And he says he starts to call them all by name. It's like
he's
much of
he-
I.
he's basically gloating. I saw Christopher Lee talk about this. He's basically being a bit of a narcissist. He's telling them everything that he knows about them, letting them know that yeah, I know all your secrets, and
To
then
try and get under their
he's
skin.
yeah, and then
Yeah.
he's also probing their weaknesses and shaming them really, and
Yeah.
he also gets all smug about yeah I have you want information, I have information for you. It's basically being a you know uh, he's showing his true self.
Yeah. And and he started messing with Theoden's mind, for example. He's like, "But have what I've done been any different than you? You went to war needlessly, and people died." And he starts to get to Theoden because Theoden starts to justify himself,
Yeah.
and that is
He gets
always
defensive.
yeah, that actually is always a mistake. When you're dealing with a manipulative person and you start to justify yourself, you're actually giving
Falling
in
into their trap.
falling into their trap because you are accepting the premise.
Yeah.
For example, the whole "you're a racist," and then you might then be tempted to spend the next hour explaining why
Why
you're
you're
not a
not.
racist, and they're like, "Wow, you're protesting too much, aren't you?" You know what I'm saying? The point is you're falling into their rhetorical trap. Yeah. Yeah. You don't mess with a wizard. And it says, so great was the power that Saruman exerted in this last effort that none that stood within hearing were unmoved.
Yeah.
They heard the gentle remonstrance of a kindly king with an erring but much loved minister. Yeah. And they were ill mannered children, and he was trying to get them to come up and see him. But Gandalf didn't give in. Didn't get full, brother. He says, it says Gandalf laughed. The fantasy then vanished like a puff of smoke. Saruman, Saruman, Gandalf said, still laughing. Saruman, you missed your path in life. You should have been the king's jester. Ah, me. Understand one another. I fear I am beyond your comprehension. But you, Saruman, I understand now too well. And he goes on and on, blah, blah, blah. So, I do not think I will come up. But listen, Saruman, for the last time, will you not come down? Isengard has proven less strong than your hope and fancy made it. Would it not be well to leave it for a while? Will you not come down? So he turns it on him and starts to mock him in return instead of
Yeah.
accepting the premise. Yeah. Yeah. Princess Rennie, what do you think of this voice in this chapter?
I love it. I think it's a great mental battle, so to speak. Because yeah, Saruman tries to manipulate them by cutting them to the core. I do feel like that's partially like, mental power, but I do think he tries to put a little sorcery in there to kind of trap their minds. And, now that he has another wizard that has the same strength as he does, so to speak, he can't take over his mind. And so he taunts him back. And he's like, whoa, wait a minute. Hold on here. That wasn't supposed to happen. And it's a great battle of not just power, but battle of the minds. And, it's sad because the men and the hobbits almost fall for it. And I feel like even Legolas kind of, gives it a little bit of consideration. And Gandalf's like, yeah, no, nope.
Yeah.
And, it's really great to see into his mind. And yes, I do think that the last chapter shows a lot about Wormtongue, but this is more Saruman's time to shine. And you see just how sick he's become falling under the power of the Palantir.
Yeah.
And how he's been manipulated by Sauron. And he really sees things like this. This is his truth, so to speak. And it's like, dude, you're really delusional. Do you not see what's going on around you? You know? So it's kind of sad. You kind of feel bad for him. But at the same time, it's like, well, he's too far gone. There's no saving him.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And Gandalf then takes that rhetoric and twists it on him to show almost an act of mercy. He says, actually, come with me. This is your last chance. You can leave free. He says, your servants are destroyed and scattered. Your neighbors you have made your enemies, and you have cheated your new master, or tried to do so. When his eye turns hither, it will be the red eye of wrath. Yeah, as you said, things ain't going to be good for him.
Exactly.
No. And then he says to Saruman, but you will first surrender to me the key of Ornthing and your staff. They shall be pledges of your conduct to be returned later if you merit him. So he is truly offering him a little bit of mercy. But Saruman's face grew livid.
Interesting how Gandalf wants Saruman to relinquish his staff. It ties into the perverted things he did in the previous chapter at Helm's Deep.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
No more playing in Helm's Deep.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no more fun, no more staffs. Well, he also says, I will set you free. You can go wherever you want. You can even go to Mordor if you want. But Saruman is really starting to get pissed. He's like, yeah, you want the keys of Barad-dûr itself, I suppose. And the crowns of 7 kings. And the rods of the...
Uh-huh.
The rods of the 5 wizards. And have purchased yourself a pair of boots many sizes larger than those that you wear
Knee-high
now.
boots?
No. Well, this shows also how much Saruman is completely not understanding or not able to see things from another's point of view. The idea that Gandalf doesn't want the same kind of power that Saruman wanted. You know, he goes, I have other things to do. Do not be a fool. If you wish to treat with me while you have a chance, go away and come back when you are sober. And he turns away. Before he says, good day. And then he turns away. Come back, Saruman, Gandalf said in a commanding voice. And then to the amazement of others, Saruman turned around, and as if dragged against his will, he came slowly back to the iron rail, leaning on it, breathing hard. So he actually cannot resist the authority of Gandalf.
Yeah. Because Gandalf is now Saruman as he should have been. So Saruman should, in theory, be powerless since, you know, this is basically his replacement, so to speak. So
Precisely.
Yeah. I really like that. They kind of made that or validated that idea.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And I'm sorry, I'm seeing Subhuman. Hello, pretty ladies.
No,
Stieg. Well, that's understandable. He is not a pretty lady. He is a Viking.
I would hope not.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
Yeah. He says, and then he continues. Continuing from the book. His hand clutched his heavy black staff like a claw. And he said, Gandalf says sternly, I did not give you leave to go. I have not finished. Hey, I've had arguments like that with the younger little fools in my life. You have become a fool, Saruman, and yet pitiable. You might still have turned away from folly and evil and have been of service, but you choose to stay and gnaw the ends of your old plots. That's kind of that rat imagery we saw before, gnawing like a little stray rat. Stay then. But I warn you, you will easily not come out again. Saruman, and his voice grew in power and authority. Behold, I am not Gandalf the Grey whom you betrayed. I am Gandalf the White who has returned from death. You have no color now, and I cast you from the order and from the council. Excommunicado. I added that last part. If you've seen John Wick, but actually, it is an excommunication.
Yeah, he banishes him from the wizard order.
Yeah, and Gandalf raises his hand and speaks in a clear, cold voice. Saruman, your staff is broken. There was a crack, and the staff split asunder in Saruman's hand, and the head of it fell down at Gandalf's feet.
It's Middle Earth's version of cancel culture.
Well, except in this case, he deserved it.
Yes.
Yeah. He deserved it. The breaking of the staff is actually a sign of the breaking of his authority, because the staff is a sign of his authority. So it is very powerful. Soul Assassin says, she's Teresa the White now. Oh, yes, I need to get a white flower, I suppose. I have my authority. Go, said Gandalf, and with a cry, Saruman fell back and crawled away, very much like Wormtongue, crawling away, the animal imagery. And at that moment, a heavy shining thing came hurtling down from above. I love that part. Because that was Wormtongue being too dumb to live. Because in the middle of all this, what's he throwing down? We all know what he's throwing down, don't we, Precious?
Yeah, it's Hunter Biden's laptop.
Oh, dear.
Oh. It is the Palantir, because Wormtongue, like a dumbass, is like, oh, yeah, let me throw this. Though we don't know at this point what the problem is. And then Gandalf says, I don't know what's going to become of him. We could have found few treasures in Orthanc more precious than the thing which Wormtongue threw down at us, because Wormtongue goes down the Palantir. At that moment, a shrill shriek, suddenly cut off, came from an open window high above. It seems that Saruman thinks so too. Dun, dun, dun. So the Palantir was something far more powerful than Wormtongue thought it was.
It actually took away Saruman's ability to keep track of what's going on.
Yeah.
He's now absolutely isolated with no staff of power, really.
Yep.
He's effectively castrated and isolated.
Yeah.
Absolutely, symbolically and truly. The Palantir also was almost the source of his addiction, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
I mean, because it really did kind of get into his head, and he obsessed over it. He wanted to look at it all the time. And you see that sickness try to get into Pippin's head too, where Pippin just wants to just look at the Palantir and hold it and all that stuff. And he doesn't realize what he's obsessing over and why.
You know what? This is absolutely not allegory, because there's no way Tolkien could have known this. But if you think about it, the Palantir today would be social media addiction.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Something you cannot from which you cannot gaze away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Checking if they got likes, the comments, views, what have you.
Shares,
same
retweets.
thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
The illusion of power.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Very, very apropos. And this brings us straight into the next chapter. I'm just going to go ahead and do that since we've already started it, which is the Palantir. That Gandalf is hanging on to it because he knows what it is. But Pippin's like, why does he have it? Why is he sitting on it like a hen and egg? I want to see it.
Yeah.
Pippin starts to get obsessed with it already.
Yeah. It's like it has some sort of like mind control over, I don't know if it's the weak or people that just, maybe there's a certain type of personality that's very perceptive to it, but it just really creates an obsession, in my opinion.
Well, here's the thing. Pippin is he gets addicted to stuff.
Oh.
No smoking. They even touched upon it in the movies.
Yeah.
You know, you smoke too much, Pippin.
Yeah, I was going to say, Mary
Yeah,
literally says you
he's-
smoke too much.
Yeah, he gets addicted to stuff. And so naturally, he will go right for that thing, basically replacing one addiction with another, possibly.
Kind of like Saruman and his addiction of power, maybe, so to speak.
Yeah.
Yeah. Him alone with the staff. Oh my. Okay. Oh, and welcome, Sultan I Fame. Yeah. Soul Assassin says they haven't all been accounted for, Steve. We don't know who else could be watching.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Need to make sure you have a piece of duct tape over your webcam.
The analogy works, don't we all? Actually, I don't have duct tape. I actually have that sticky stuff you can put on the wall. It's almost like Play-Doh. It does the same job. It actually does better than duct tape. Yes, kids, if you do not have that over your Palantir, aka webcam, you should. at all
Electrical
times.
tape works pretty well too.
Oh, well, okay, there we are. Yeah, like they're saying like Bilbo's addiction to the ring, also like Stephen Colbert. You know, I find Gandalf behaves very much like a recovering alcoholic or a recovering addict, where he knows he can't even touch it, he can't even taste it. He's tempted by it, but the rest of them will be all, I'll be okay, it won't be a problem. Gandalf knows, I can't even take one sip, I can't even take one hit, because then that'll be it.
Yeah.
The time prophet. Actually, scissors on the webcam wire works the best. Well, yes, but that will also that'll take care of it. But when Pippin does look into it, almost immediately he becomes rigid. His lips move silently for a while. Then, with a strangled cry, he falls back and lays still. The cry was piercing, and Gandalf goes, "The devilry! What mischief has he done to himself and to all of us?" Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sorna Poopa says, "I always keep my Palantir covered. For some reason, it keeps showing me porn sites."
Oh dear.
Time Prophet. What about the secret camera in all TVs? Well, we're screwed. A sticky note works well too. Yes. Well, good to know. A sticky note glue is tougher to remove than bite. Only if he's sniffing. Only if there's a child in his path to be sniffed.
Oh dear.
Oh boy, poor little. What is it? It's Saruman is trying to get in touch with him, because he's like, "It's not for you, Saruman," he cried in a shrill and toneless voice. "I will send for it at once. Do you understand? Just say that." Then he struggled to get up and escape, but Gandalf held him gently and firmly. "Peregrine Took, come back." And then finally he's like, "Gandalf," he cries out, "forgive me." He's like, "Forgive you? First tell me what you've done." So we know that this is bad. This could be very, very bad.
Yeah.
For somebody like Tolkien, would he have more associated it with the crystal ball, perhaps, than like we do maybe with the internet? Because part of some thinking about things like looking into crystal balls, that it's not necessarily that they can do anything, but it's the trust that people put into things like that, trying to get control of what is uncontrollable. That is what is?
Yeah, like people trying to control a narrative by claiming they have sources, like CNN did with Trump and the Russia stuff.
Mm-hmm. Precisely. Yes. Oh no. Snortapoopa says Nazgul sniff a lot, and so does Biden. Coincidence?
Oh dear.
Beware of people seeking power and sniffing.
Yeah, if they're a sniffer, might want to think twice.
Yeah. It's and when Pippin was talking,
He also tried to make the Pope sniff.
oh no. No. No.
It's like his power. He just spills out fumes and indoctrinates people around him.
That and Prince Charles's wife, the Duchess.
Yeah. He's trying to he's
Camilla.
trying to be the Witch King and ensnare other nobility, people in power.
But in any case,
He's literally a brown ring wraith.
but it's Sauron who's trying to get that he gets in touch with, and he laughed at Pippin, and Pippin says it was cruel. It was like being stabbed with knives. But he said, "Wait a moment, we shall meet again soon. Tell Saruman that this dainty is not for him. I will send for it at once. Do you understand? Just say that." Then he gloated on me. I felt like I was falling to pieces. And then Gandalf's like, "Okay, you've taken no harm. There is no lie in your eyes." But he did not speak long with you. A fool, but an honest fool you remain.
Pippin got bullied on social media.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah.
And he got triggered. And then
And he got
Gandalf
triggered, yes,
virtue
Sauron.
signaled.
Yeah. But he also says, "But I cannot count on it a second time. If he had questioned you then and there, almost certainly you would have told all you know, to the ruin of us all."
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. He did not want information only. He wanted you quickly so that he could deal with you in the Dark Tower slowly. Well, there we go. Oh my gosh. But I did not reread this chapter recently. If I'm correct, does Sauron then become aware of them because of this?
Well, he knows. I think he does.
He knows something, but
Yeah, he knows
he
something's up.
Yeah, and then he accidentally reveals some of his plans to Pippin.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So in a way, while it could have been really disastrous for them, it turns out, on the other hand around, to be disastrous for...
Yeah, which is Tolkien was talking about something called a eucatastrophe, which is a sudden change from really bad to good, because we don't have a word for that. We only have catastrophe, which is sudden change from bad to really bad, from good to really bad.
Yeah.
And they talk about that a little bit in the bonus material of the movies. And that little event, while seemingly disastrous, turns out to be vitally good for the main characters, because now they know that Sauron is going to make a move on Minas Tirith.
Yeah. Precisely. Yes. And Gandalf even also says it was a good thing that he had not looked at it. He said that there will come a time when we will not be able to hide ourselves from Sauron, but we have now still a short while of doubt which we must use. So he has a window here. The enemy, it is clear, thought the stone was an Orthanc, and that the hobbit was captive there. He says, but we now must snatch this time. We've been too leisurely. We must move. And he goes, I will ride ahead at once with Peregrine Took. And then Theoden I will keep with Eamon and the riders. The rest will go with Aragorn. So we know that we're starting to come up to the climax of what's going to happen. good stuff, though. My gosh.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, this is excellent plot development.
Yes.
Yeah. Agreed.
And as they're writing, they did stop, not to sing, but to say a poem.
Yeah, it's like the evil Dark Lord just saw me and threatened me, so I feel I have to speak out
I
a
have to-
poem.
Yeah, I have to write a poem about it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and May Copley, it was singing because he was singing it to himself. Tall ships and tall king, 3 times 3. What bought they from the Founderland over the flowing sea? 7 stars and 7 stones and 1 white tree. I'm so excited. We're gonna be going to Gondor.
Yes.
And partridge in a pear tree. And 1 golden ring.
Exactly. Someone
Literally.
probably actually has done the 12 days of Lord of the Rings Christmas.
I mean, I think it's possible to do it.
Probably.
It gives us so much material.
You do have a golden ring?
Yeah.
You know?
I do.
5 golden rings or 1 golden ring. We have, oh gosh, the power of sniffing compels you. You shall not sniff. Interesting question.
Oh
Sorry.
no.
Biden the Brown.
Oh! As Gandalf says, Snortopupus, as Gandalf says, Sauron is a wise fool.
Yes.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Snortopupus is always impressing in the chat. He knows his stuff about this.
He's a
Yes.
smart bear.
Yeah, he's schooled in Tolkien big time.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. The polar bear puts us all to shame. Indeed. So, Time
It's
Prophet,
very
do you
polarizing.
think?
It's so polarizing, it's unbearable.
Need a drum set. Badumtis.
Do you think Gandalf was just using the hobbits? A question from the Time Prophet. I don't think so.
No.
I think he knew they would be useful, but I don't
Well,
think he used them.
Do you
Does that make
like
sense?
to me, I think the reason that that Tolkien wrote it the way that he did was to show even the smallest person can make a huge difference in the world. You don't have to
Yeah.
be humongous and powerful to, you know, do great things. And I really love that.
Actually, I don't think he used them, and I don't think he necessarily thought they would be useful, but he recognized that they're not useless.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, just because of their height or their, you know, their size doesn't make them, you know, unhelpful.
Yeah.
Because that's one thing that kind of recurs in the books is, you know, and in the movies, it's like, yeah, but they're just these like tiny little people, you know, what can they do? You know, their size, you know, I don't really want to say this, but their size really doesn't matter. It's what's in their heart and, you know, what's in their character. And, you know, even the smallest person can make the biggest difference. And I really like that.
Yeah. That's also what makes this such an epic tale and so relatable. Because we all can be that hero.
Yeah.
A great deal of the history of the Palantir is also gone into. They said that 2 of them, we don't know where they ended up. And obviously the one at Orthanc is there.
And one at Minas Tirith, but wasn't it Fëanor who made them?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. In the Silmarillion, it's Fëanor, and they don't really talk about them much. They talk more about like, right? Yeah, they talk more about like other things like the Great Battle and stuff like that. You know, what is it? I forget what they call it, but where the elves fight each other. But I don't know. It would have been nice to know a little bit more about the Palantirs and, you know, why they were created and, you know, I mean, you know that you can see across the world and stuff, but like, you know, are they more powerful, or do, you know, are there other things about them that we don't know? And we just really never get a deep dive into them.
No, that's. I suspect that one could even say that if we were to ask Tolkien here, he probably wouldn't have an answer. When he talks about the Palantirs, he said when he first saw it, that with Wormtongue throws it out the window, he himself wasn't entirely sure what it was. Again, one of those situations where he lets the story speak to him, and in many ways, and then it reminded him of the old poem. But in the Men of Old, it says here, Pippin is saying, what did the men of old use them for? And Gandalf says, to see far off and to converse in thought with one another. In that way, they long guarded and united the realm of Gondor.
Effectively, our cell phones are like sci-fi versions of the Palantir.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
Soul Assassin jinxed you here. The Palantirs were the face chat device of Middle Earth.
Yeah.
And what do people use them for today? They make funny faces on TikTok.
That's true.
Yeah. Post their meals. Like, oh, look what I'm eating today. It's like, wow, that's awesome.
Oh, I'm guilty of that, actually. Florida Poopa says there's more about the Palantir is a book published by Christopher Tolkien, editing some of his father's material. It's called Unfinished Tales. Yes, indeed.
Yep.
Yes. Loads of material there.
I need to get that one in hardcover in English. I have it in Norwegian.
Mm-hmm.
And it has that awesome artwork of that guy on the beach with like a sea god in front of him.
Yeah.
That's the cover I have for it. But
that's cool.
It seems it's like the new hardcovers has like boats and stuff. I
think that's the one I got. The one, because I think you sent me a link to that.
I do not have Unfinished Tales. I'm gonna have to buy it in hardcover, as well as Beren and Luthien and the Children of Húrin. Because I'm a completionist, kind of, and I have all the Star Wars books I want now, so I need to spend money on something else obsessively.
There we go.
Awesome.
That is your One Ring.
Yeah, it's basically, I look at it and I'm like, I need this money for food, but then again, 1 week of eating noodles will be worth it.
Yeah.
All for it. Well, ramen it is. And Pippin learned his lesson about trying to go looking into Palantir. And Gandalf says, the burned hand teaches best. And Pippin says, it does. If all the 7 stones were laid out before me now, I would shut my eyes and put my hands in my pockets.
That
reminds me a little bit.
Very good line.
It is a very good line. Reminds me a little bit of the attitude that my one true love Faramir will be saying. The One Ring.
Put your hand in my pocket.
Oh, I'm sorry. You weren't supposed to share that, Steve. Yeah. What happens between me and Faramir stays between me and Faramir. No, right. I was talking about his attitude that he gained toward the ring. Was it instinctual or whatever? But we will get into that with Faramir, because Faramir had said he would not pick up the ring if he saw it lying on the side of the road for him. Which is what makes the movie Two Towers' greatest fallacy such a great fallacy, and made me very, very mad. But I didn't burn him an effigy over that, Peter Jackson. I burned him an effigy over something else. Yeah. Well, actually, all I did was I made a stick man. I said, this is Peter Jackson. And then I put that in a fireplace because I was mad at him for cutting the Houses of Healing in the theatrical version.
And then he hasn't made a good movie since.
Exactly. I cursed him. Hell
Like
hath
the
no
Hobbit
fury.
movies were okay.
Yeah, they were okay.
Yeah.
Somewhat tolerable.
Definitely compared to anything else he's done, for sure.
I liked the first half of King Kong, but then it turned into like almost what you see in the second Hobbit movie with Lonely Mountain being almost like an amusement ride park.
Yes. I felt the same way. I'm like, this is a little bit too giddy and fun here for a bit. I don't really think that's what King Kong is about.
Yeah, it's like everyone's being chased by dinosaurs for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has its ups and it definitely has its downs. Snorter Poopin says they just published a new book called The Nature of Middle Earth by Tolkien scholar Carl Hostetter. More of Tolkien's notes they found just when I thought I was out. They dragged me back in.
It's basically about the plants.
Yeah.
It is, though. It's about basically the nature in Middle Earth.
Oh, okay. I see. My fault. I thought mistakenly you were making a pun. Soul Assassin said, didn't know Teresa was a fan of Burning Man. Well, only when I was young. I was like, 20? I was in my 20s. I didn't know better. Peter Jackson lost weight, got contact lenses, and his movies began to suck.
Right.
I can't deny that.
He should have stayed a Hobbit.
Yeah, stay a Hobbit. Just like Hercule Poirot. There's just a lot of chitter chatter between Pippin and Gandalf, some exposition. And then Gandalf's like, STFU. Let us ride away, Shadowfax. Run, Greatheart, run as you have never run before. Hope is in speed. So he sprang forward. Fire flew from his feet. Night rushed over him. And as he fell slowly into sleep, Pippin had a strange feeling. He and Gandalf were still as stone, seated upon the statue of a running horse, while the world rolled beneath his feet with a great noise of wind. So in...
Ooh.
Oh, yes. The wind did it.
Wasn't my fault.
Woo, yes. Thus ends book 3, and we are now on to book 4. We will not be seeing our friends until the return of the king. Next time on Miss Martin Muses, we are going to be going back to Sam and Schmeagol and Frodo. Yay!
Mm-hmm. Yay.
And great stuff to come because we will be having not just Schmeagol, but Faramir and Shelob, the spider.
Oh,
also,
yeah.
we're halfway through the story.
Yeah.
We are indeed. Yes. Oh my gosh. Sorry. The chat, you are awesome. Let me see. P-Cat says, Miss Martin and Stieg did an even better job this week than last week, especially keeping Rennie from devolving this discussion into the gutter like last week.
Come on.
I know. See?
I hate you, P-Cat.
The crowd has spoken.
Why is he blaming it on you, Rennie? That's not fair.
Because she did it.
Because he's a friend and he's mean like that. It's okay. I'll get him back.
I think it was you. I'm going to prove it when I publish the low lights.
I don't think it was. I think it was you.
No.
Last time, yes.
I think you started it with a certain D word, and that's all I'm going to say.
Yeah,
no.
Then
It
I had
started
to
way
edit.
before that.
Well, yeah, it did start way before that, and it was all entirely your fault. I had to edit it all out because of you. I had to re-upload. But no, I think we all were guilty.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Steve started it.
No, I don't think I did that time.
You'll see the proof. It's
No.
weird when no.
I'll see the edited proof.
Okay, Soul Assassin says, it's weird when celebs lose weight, they begin to stop being funny. There's some truth in that.
Yeah.
Actually, Peter Jackson was thin when he made his first movie, Bad Taste, in 1987. Yeah, it
Which
wasn't
is
a good
which
movie,
is
though.
hence the name of the title, Bad Taste. He just didn't eat anything. 'cause
Yeah,
it tasted like
puts-
shit.
It's a bad taste in your mouth when you watch
Yeah,
it.
ate cardboard.
Actually,
Uh,
given that movie though, you don't want to eat while watching it.
Oh.
Yeah, it's
Is that the one that's really violent?
cartoonily so, and also the other one, which was called Brain Dead.
Oh yeah, that one's
Um,
really bad.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
that
the
scene
story
with
of
the
most.
pudding was not cool. As the lady who plays Lobelia Baggins, the extended Lord of the Rings, she's in it.
Oh shit!
Oh, drop something, did you?
Maybe.
Mhm.
But I did. Sorry, go on with your point, Steve.
No, I was just saying, yeah, the Brain Dead, really bad movie. Yeah, it has another title in the United States, I believe, but
Okay.
the original title I think was Brain Dead,
Hmm.
which is a splatter zombie thing ish, where he has fun with special effects.
Well, I think Brain Dead could describe a lot of people nowadays. That describes 2021. Okay.
Oh, in 2022, and
2020. Yeah, we're
Yeah.
screwed. We're completely screwed. Sort of Poopa says, a great noise of wind, too many beans. No, that's a Biden. Oh no, Master Frodo. Hooray for Frodo and Sam. Yes, indeed. Soul Assassin says, we need a Faramir count on top of the screen for every time she says his name.
I like that. That's cute.
Yeah, well, I don't know how to do that on my
it'd
StreamYard.
be like 2001, A Faramir Odyssey.
That's an odyssey I'm happy to take. Okay, Faramir is innocent, more or less, says Snortopoopas.
No, is it Rennie's innocent, not Faramir?
Oh, did I say Faramir? I did not. Did I really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to listen back to it. I don't believe you. Okay, I have Faramir on the mind now. All right. I was practicing guitar while listening. Well, thank you. I approve of music. We approve of music on Miss Martin Muses. Stieg was a true leader last week, said Pete.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, one of us had to be serious.
Get out.
Rennie is an agent of chaos. That's not fair.
No, I don't think she's an agent. She is chaos.
That's why you like me.
Yeah. Yeah, Bad Taste is so funny, says Time Prophet. Soul Assassin Teresa swore.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I played D&D with Teresa, and I wasn't faced by her swearing today at all.
Yeah, he's heard far worse. I try to behave myself on my own channel, though. Yeah, this must have been when I knocked it over. Snortopoopa says Rutro. Yes, it was a little pitcher thing. I put the cream for my tea in. Yeah, it fell over, spilled.
Oh.
Yeah, well,
How tedious.
it was incredibly tedious, but there was no tea. Luckily, it didn't break because I would have been really mad.
Yeah, that's what I was worried about. I'm like, oh no, it's probably part of her tea set. She's gonna be so upset.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
good heavens. My tea set broke on live. Yeah.
No, it survived, so it must be some very strong tea because we have tile here at my mom and dad's place. So, you know, Sultan Al Fame. I was partly blamed for last week. Yes, you were, and I have proof. I'll probably upload it tomorrow. She broke her Palantir.
Okay, that's really cute. I like that.
Oh no, Tech 44. Oh did Teresa drop a Biden? I did. The Time Prophet. Bad Taste won the 1988 Cannes Film Awards. Well, there we are.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah. LOLs. Yes, you did.
Yeah,
Snort Poopa
it's
says.
a Faramir thing.
Why do you have to keep saying Faramir? Wait, Faramir was in that movie?
No, you called Rennie Faramir earlier.
Oh,
I didn't even
Oh.
notice. That's sad.
Yeah, that's,
Oh my gosh, it just shows you.
if she
I gotta
shows
be
up, don't
careful.
open the door, Rennie.
Okay.
Yeah, I gotta
I'm
be
very-
careful.
If it's not DoorDash, I'm not answering the door. I'm just saying.
I just had a pretty thought, but I won't say it. I gotta be careful
like-
when I.
Shows up at Rennie's place and, hey, Faramir, can you put on your costume for me?
No, not at Rennie's. No, I just
Well,
realized.
Rennie has the hair for it, though.
I do. But my hair
The
is
wrong
pretty dark.
gender for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was just thinking. I gotta be careful when I say Faramir. Just saying. There's times where that could really get me in trouble. All right, let's continue. Gadfly fiction. Come now, no use swearing over spilled milk. Well said. It
Yeah.
actually had some in it. Yeah, so I'm. Gonna
That's
have
like
to
the
clean it up.
worst. When you spill like half and half or heavy whipping cream, that
Yeah.
crap is damn near impossible to clean up. It takes forever. It sticks and oh yeah.
Yeah,
So
well,
why
thank
put that
goodness.
shit in the coffee to begin with?
It wasn't coffee. It was tea.
Because
Even-
it tastes good.
Here, I'm taking a picture of it. I'll put it on Twitter so you can see
it
the
may
mess
be
it
a
made.
sin, but it tastes good.
That's right.
Exactly. Sinfully good.
That's
good.
right.
The good news is it is tile. So tile's a lot easier to clean than other
Oh,
tanks.
God.
Yeah,
Yeah.
gosh, if it was in carpet, oh my gosh.
Yeah. Shoot me
Uh,
now.
Could you highlight PCAT's chat further below? He has some truth bombs.
I know the one you're talking about.
Oh
Okay,
dear.
here you go. PCAT says, may it be on the record that the ladies have the potty mouths, while today Stieg is speaking the Queen's English.
There you have it. Straight
What
from
does he
the
know? He's
from the
yeah.
scholar himself.
He's an East Coaster. What does he know?
Well, if he's on the East Coast, he's closer to the true civilization.
Or the Bermuda Triangle. But yeah.
All right. Yeah. Soul Assassin. Good thing it wasn't Teresa's Faramir teacup. That would be tragic. Oh my god.
You have a Faramir teacup?
well,
Would be
Soul
would be
Assassin.
cool if she had the whole fellowship on it, because that would be the breaking of the fellowship.
Oh yeah. Very symbolic.
Well, I'd have to like drop like Boromir. Okay. Soul Assassin follows up with. You
Oh
know
no,
she
his
has
horn
a.
is broken. It's cleaved.
You know she has a Faramir tea set. No, I do not have a Faramir tea set. All right, we've already said that one. Sort of Poopa says, and now for the sequels: The Wrath of Faramir, The Search for Faramir, Son of Faramir, Aaron Awen's Excellent Adventure.
Oh my
Oh
gosh.
no! In these stories,
Faramir does Dallas.
oh,
Hey, I live
No.
near Dallas.
As much as I do ship in a healthy way Faramir and Eowyn, in these scenarios, Eowyn doesn't exist, so I reject that last one. It's just Faramir. He's a widower, so that makes it okay.
That's right.
Time
He
Prophet
needs some
said,
comfort.
yes, because he's lonely. To Time Prophet, did someone mention Faramir? I almost said it. Did someone mention whipping?
Yeah, whipping and cream. They were talking about whipping and creaming for a while. I was like, what the fuck's wrong with these ladies?
Out.
We were not. Oh, okay. Yeah, this is obviously our miscellaneous part of our discussion. Sandra Feliciano, try cleaning up cornstarch when making gravy. I'm still finding it on the
Oh,
floor and shelves. Oh no, that is a
yeah,
mess.
that sounds
No,
horrific.
no, precious. No, that's a problem here. Okay. A lot of LOLs. Time Prophet says, actually, I am English, and even I don't speak the Queen's English, which is received pronunciation. Yeah, most people don't. It depends on where you live, and I think you
For
have to
some reason,
be.
I'm the only one doing it.
I know you're the only. You have the most perfect English I know. I know loads of English people, though they're in Manchester, so that's the northern accent.
Oh, those aren't people.
Oh,
You ain't right.
not everything is Manchester United up there, though, Steeg. Because my friend up there is a Liverpool fan.
That's even worse.
No, it's not Liverpool Football Club. Well, never mind. We're not going to go into football. We'll talk. Maybe one day I'll have a football stream, AKA real football, the one you use with your feet. Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Hence
Have
the
a
word football.
precisely. Maybe for the rest of us, it'll be football for the rest of us, or Premier League, or World Cup.
Like
Sort of
Festivus.
like Festivus for the rest of us. Yeah, well, yeah. Oh gosh, I am gonna have the biggest Festivus stream you've ever seen, because oh boy, do I have a lot to bitch about.
I know,
Snort-
right? Same here.
Sort of Poopa Scoober says. So Teresa has all the Faramir posters with her own picture pasted over anyway. How did you
Woo!
know? How did you know? You've been spying on me through my webcam. Snorted Poopus says even the Queen doesn't speak the Queen's English. That is correct. Someone actually figured out that her voice, her accent, her English has evolved, and she no longer speaks the Queen's English.
Yeah, I heard that.
Oh my goodness gracious sakes alive. He is near Birmingham, the center of Mordor. Oh, shots
Well,
fired.
they have Aston Villa, West Bromwich. I think Wolverhampton is near there, and
Yeah.
Birmingham Football Club, whatever it's called. A lot of football stuff around Birmingham. Also, I believe it's the second biggest city in England.
Perhaps. I think, isn't Birmingham playing today? This Liverpool versus Southampton?
Yeah, they're in the championship, so probably played today.
Okay. Oh, there we go. So he is near Birmingham. Center Mordor. We already said that. Birmingham. My gosh, I do not know my English geography. Is that North or South England? Soul Assassin. Shots fired. American football is real football.
Yeah, you know the
Yeah.
one where they wear armor and run around and throw the ball. That's absolutely football.
Dude, you should meet some of these guys though. Some of them are severely brain injured, and it's pretty freaking sad. Even though they wear helmets and all that stuff, they get a lot of real injuries.
Yeah, knees go a lot when they play American
Yeah.
football because of the tackles.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. He says Wolverhampton is 4 miles from where I live. Well, there we go. So is that your football club? Let's see.
Birmingham City, they won today against Blackpool 1-0. There you go.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. How's your team doing? I haven't been following
Blackburn
the
Rovers
Won
today again and are
Woo!
now finding themselves in 4th place in the championship.
Oh my gosh! That would be exciting if they were able to move up, be promoted.
Yeah.
Yep.
For Champions League.
Yeah, up to the Premier League.
That would be awesome. Because all they have
Would
to do
be.
is get in the third place, right? So they can
Top
top 5.
What place number 6, 5, 4, and 3 lets them play a qualifier, like a mini cup at the end of the season. Spot
Okay.
number 1 and 2 are direct promotions.
Oh, well, there we go. Okay, so 1 and 2 is, but if they at least get into 6, then at least there's a chance. That'll make it fierce exciting. Time
Well,
Prophet. I am in the.
They're gonna fuck up.
You're jinxing your own team.
Yeah.
Now they always fuck up after Christmas.
Oh,
So you're just
okay.
being realistic. You know what to expect.
It's all
10
the
years
eggnog.
of that.
So they start off strong and then like just kind of fade into the mist.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that sucks. Green Bay's been doing that the last few years. No faith in Green Bay right now.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
my
Green
It's
football
Bay.
like
team.
they're sleeping with a woman, and then halfway through they realize, shit, my favorite TV show is on TV, and then they just
Exactly.
Yeah.
Time Prophet says he hates football with a passion, so he hasn't got a football club. Oh my gosh.
what's
Oh,
wrong with you?
that's very unusual.
Have you like had your British citizenship revoked? Oh my goodness gracious. Oh, he says that Middle Earth in the Midlands is where Middle Earth came from in the book.
Oh,
Oh, well, I'll take
that's
your word
good
for
to
it. I
know.
don't. Yeah. The Time Prophet, America, Monty Python voice, kind of like the Cowboys. Ah,
Oh
okay.
no,
Yeah,
you poor
Cowboys.
thing.
No, that was him. Raymond says, Rennie, Raymond says that is heresy.
I know, but we've got to be realistic, Sandra. Her husband likes Green Bay as well. So
Well, we have no judgment here at Miss Smart Muses. Oh, oops, that's the wrong button. Oh, he prefers chess. Prefers chess to football. Interesting.
yeah,
Good
that's
on you,
yeah,
mate.
a mental
Ah,
battle.
okay, I got that, Steve. But when
Check.
you say, oh, oh boy, it used to be known as West America here. Yeah. Well, all I know is that
It
Dublin
says
is West.
West Mercia.
Oh, my bad. West Mercia. You see, I need a Norwegian to correct my English. I can't read. I had America on the mind because of the other thing, but Dublin is West London, but that's what we call it. But our Irish guy's gone away, Shane Nolan. I don't like sports at all, says Norda Poopus. I prefer kicking heads.
Well, you can do that during soccer if you get away with it.
Yeah. Do you have a cheese hat? I'm not sure why, but okay. Oh,
no,
because
I
Green
don't.
Bay Packers. Never mind.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the?
Yeah, I refuse to wear one of those damn things. That's not happening.
Okay.
There
Yeah.
was a cheese factory blew up in my city.
Oh damn.
Yeah, explosion. All that was left was debris.
I would have eaten that brie.
Yeah.
Ooh, a good brie with a nice red wine. Yes. Oh yes.
Brie is
Yeah,
really cheap where I live, actually.
Really, it's expensive here.
Yeah, I was gonna
Oh.
say, quit making me jealous.
You just buy a chunk of brie and put it on biscuits and whatever.
Ugh.
I really
Yeah,
love a soft, buttery brie.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm sure Brie likes that too.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Well, a lot of the stuff that you probably get over there, Steve, we have to like import or buy
Yeah.
the imported prices, so it's more expensive. But I do like brie, and I'm thinking if you have
Didn't
it with
you
a red.
find Norwegian chocolate over there though?
No, not
No.
Norwegian chocolate.
No, sorry, the
found
cheese.
the cheese. Yes, and there was a fancy supermarket in my city, and I did find it. It was expensive at F though, but it was good.
Kind
I
of
think
amusing
here-
that they sell our cheap cheese at fancy supermarkets over there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, 'cause it
it's
was like your
true.
goat cheese. Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
here you
stuff-
have to go to like Central Market or Whole Foods in order to find stuff like that.
Mhm. Well,
And
no,
they
there's
charge
only
an arm and
one.
a leg.
Yeah, and it's
Sorry,
like penny.
Teresa.
No, that's okay. I got excited. We were talking about cheese, but
I love cheese.
yeah, I know. But like, so basically, the equivalent of what we spend $10 for is like for one slice of Kraft sliced cheese things that you kids eat. That's basically plastic,
Yeah.
except it tastes good. But Brie has such ugly feet. Yes, she does. She has
Oh my
very ugly
gosh,
toes.
yes.
Her
Very
big toe looks like it looks like a dildo.
Okay, Jarlsberg. Yes. That's good too. That's good for grilled cheese. I had to order that special. Yeah.
That sounds lovely. Grilled cheese.
Yeah, if you've never had
Yeah,
Jarlsberg grilled cheese, do it.
Mm.
yeah. Put some ketchup on the bread, and then put some meat stuff, and then Jarlsberg cheese, and then drizzle some oregano on top, and then put a piece of bread on top of that again.
I like to put like the Parmesan cheese on the outside of the bread whenever I toast it for grilled cheese. And then you get kind of like a cheesy crunch on the outside and then cheese gooiness on the inside. It's really good.
Yeah. I must admit, I have never done it quite the way you've said, Stieg. I've only gone as far as the oregano. I can't bring myself to add to that, but if you do
You
put
don't
some
put
oregano,
meat on it.
No, it's
not
grilled
on grilled
cheese.
cheese.
Yeah,
Like
you put.
sometimes you can add bacon, if you want to get a little spicy.
Well, I put ham, and then cheese, and then drizzle some oregano on.
Hmm.
Well, like I said, that has been my one great act of rebellion, as I have not yet tried it with the ham. I can't bring myself to do it. It's my Jarlsberg, and it's maybe one day I'll do it. I'll do it for your birthday, Stieg. I'll put ham on my Jarlsberg.
Yeah, that's all I want for my birthday. Someone in the United States putting a ham on a piece of bread.
And then send him shots of it. Say, look what I did for you.
Yeah. Yeah, this is my lucky day. Finally, I got to see a picture of something I eat every week.
Oh boy.
I need to celebrate this with ham.
Okay, Time Promise says Parmesan cheese smells like a pair of socks that have never been washed. It is Italian. A lot of cheese does smell. Cooking Channel with Rennie says Soul Assassin. D, I'm not sure what the context is there.
No.
You messed up. You put it. Never mind. I have no idea. Soul Assassin says Stieg is a wise man. Grilled ham and cheese is good. Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
Soul Assassin. Here we go. Rennie and bacon, says Keck 44.
It's like one of my favorite things.
Yeah. Yeah, I've put a few of my things I've made. The cucumber cup thing with the spices on it. Let's see, Snorted Poopa says, it took me 10 years to realize I wasn't supposed to eat the red wax.
Oh my goodness.
But I'm a polar bear and will eat car upholstery. Yes, you will. Time Prop says, I don't like melted cheese at all. I'm curious, Rennie. I'm going to put on my snob hat.
Yeah.
So I'm going to trigger Steve. When you said red wine with brie, what kind of red wine do you drink with brie?
So my favorite used to be Pinot Noir. But lately I've gotten a real good taste for Tempranillo, which if you try out any Texas wineries, that seems to be a big specialty here because of our weather, is Tempranillo. It's perfect weather for it. And then I also like Cabernet Sauvignon. I'm not a big Merlot fan and I'm not a big Shiraz fan. I mean, I'll drink them in blends, but I just really like those three. Those are my top three, with Tempranillo kind of raising above everything else because it's just got that really good spicy kick to it. And it's a Spanish type of wine, which I never thought I would really enjoy, but I really do enjoy it.
Yeah, that's a very bold wine for a cheese, for brie. Yeah.
Well, and
usually
it kind of offsets like the flavor. No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
Oh, no. Go ahead. I'm just curious. I've never heard of that pairing, but please tell me you don't actually drink Texas wine.
I do actually drink some Texas wines, but mainly just the Tempranillos. Messina Hoff is a good winery. Who else? I think it's Grape Creek. I'm very selective with what I drink here. Other than that, I usually go a little bit outside the country, but I get them at Central Market. But yeah, I don't know. Texas has some very, very well hidden secrets on wine. It's not all good. like avoidiano like the plague. It's horrible. But they really do, it's a well-kept secret here that there are some really great places. And if you go to Fredericksburg, which is near Austin, you can try a lot of really interesting wineries there, and you'll be surprised at some of the advancements we've made here in wine. I was really, really shocked.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
Well,
being from California, you think, oh, Texas wine, give me a break. No, it's
yeah, well,
actually
we
not
don't
bad.
really have the climate for it, but well, do me a favor. Try a Sancerre with it sometime. Get a Sancerre it's made in the Loire Valley. Give that a go. It's a white.
Yeah.
Yes, I would. Oh, good. Yeah, I would. Yeah, go ahead and give that a go. But okay, all right. So I'm taking my snobby hat and I'm putting it off now. And I hope I didn't take away Stieg's will to live. Let's see. Sonora Poopa says, which reminds me, one of the characters in Tolkien's Father Christmas letter is a North Polar Bear.
Oh.
Allegedly, West Virginia has a couple of good wines and a really good vodka. Oh my gosh. My people used to call that moonshine. Sonora Poopa says, I like the bears in the Golden Compass book. Oh, yes. Okay.
Well, of course he would.
Yeah. I don't think you don't have any wines or anything like that in Norway, do you, Stieg? Do you all make that stuff? I don't think you
We
have
have
the climate.
wine.
But do you have wineries out there?
I don't think you
so.
make. Really? Because I'm just curious. I'm looking. I mean, maybe ice wine, but I'm not sure the climate is. Now I've got to Google. Everybody Google. Okay. So, all right. Well, we do like our polar bears here. We do like our polar bears. Well, we're going to start winding down this party. Now I've got to Google this. We're going to wind down this party. I do know that there are some things coming up. Can you tell us, Rennie, where can we find you?
Typically every Saturday afternoon on Mr. Brown Alliance. Today typically starts around 4 or 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. Sorry, I'm not used to being back to Standard Time. It's so weird. And today we're talking about V for Vendetta, which is pretty relevant. So one of my favorite movies. So definitely will be there.
All right. Well, thank you. And Steve Kenobi, where can we find you?
On Morris channel on Fridays for the Cringe Factor, and OG Star Wars on Thursday for Star Wars talk, and your channel sometimes for Lord of the Rings.
Well, there we are. Yes, we and you do actually have some rhymes, Steve. So you were correct. Not that I doubted you, because you know your own country. Well, yes. So yes, you can find Steve there. Please go ahead and subscribe to them. Keck, if you wouldn't mind throwing a few of those links in there if you have them available. The peace, peace through unity, unity through peace.
Yeah.
King Dolphin says, Muses, we have to talk about KDTV.
King Dolphin TV.
Oh, King Dolphin. Oh, that's your channel. Oh my gosh. I am so sorry. Thank you. Yes. I've got some streams coming up. I've already talked about the one with Lady Gravemaster next Monday. And then on Tuesday, it will be the return of the triple review a week from Tuesday with Christmas movies. It will be action ones.
Oh, nice.
Lethal Weapon. Die Hard, Lethal Weapon, Die Hard, and Rocky IV.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so some Christmas movies to talk about things with a Christmas atmosphere. Also, return of Once Upon a Time discussion with Minority Home and Biggles, and maybe a few of my old colleagues from Once Upon a Fan. We're going to be talking about season 1. You can also see me on Nina Infinity's channel on Sunday night. We are going to be talking this Sunday about Hawkeye tomorrow night. So please, go ahead, like, share, subscribe, watch all of this stuff. Thank you. I'm sorry. I shouldn't be reading. Okay, I need to highlight these talks. Okay. Sonora Poopus is getting ready to mob on T-Shirt Historian's channel later. Oh, I'm maybe need to check that out. Solastan ain't crispy without hearing yippee ki and have a good. Oh, everyone's saying have a good day. Well, you all have a good day. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here as always. The chat, the best chat ever. You all are so informative and funny, as well as my panel. Have a good day, everyone. Have a good day, and be certain if you run across a Palantir, for the love of everything, do not pick it up